Is it sports washing or is the New World Order? Is the Arab world taking over football? Stay tuned.
AG.
Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Off the Mic. This is our YouTube channel that covers all the latest soccer content from around the globe. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe the channel. So, I've heard that Manchester United have been for sale for months now, unless you're living under a football rock. But what's happened is rumors started circulating last week that the Glazers had accepted the bid from Sheikh Jassim, one of Qatar's richest guys there. And this bid was supposed to have been rivaling the one of Sir Ratcliffe, British richest man. So what's happened is that we haven't heard any sort of official word from Manchester United whether they've accepted the bid or not. But just basically social media, we've seen it where Sheikh Jassim was congratulated on Twitter by one of his countrymen in terms of purchasing Manchester United. But, like I said, nothing has come through Twitter. But it just got me thinking that maybe we should sort of like produce a show covering how much money the Arab sort of like nations have put into sports and soccer over the past year. So I mean, if you look at it, that 6 billion to Manchester United, recently the Saudis took over Newcastle United. So and across the neighbors, you've got Manchester United's, Manchester City's owners from Abu Dhabi, and in PSG, Nasser Khalifi. So, I mean, like, there's a big sort of like outlay from the Arab nations in one of sort of like major British soccer institutions. And now the biggest one, potentially the biggest club in the world from Manchester United, is about to be owned by the Qataris. So, look, each to their own. So I was looking at just doing some research around the subject and just came across this article, basically just outlining uh, the plans from the Saudis. So these guys have got a wealth fund. They call it the PIF, Saudi Wealth Fund, sort of like that's designed to invest in a lot of entities, and they've been sort of like in hotels, real estate, and businesses, telecoms all over the world. But lately, they've been focused primarily on the sports. As you've seen, like the amount of money that they've put into Formula One, having Formula One races over in Saudi Arabia, and latest is the Live Golf, where they've basically put in a lot of money that split all the golfers sort of like halfway, because some thought that this was going to ruin the traditions of the golf. I mean, golf is regarded as a gentleman's club, literally, that doesn't allow outsiders to come in. And here you have this organization essentially saying, oh, you know what, we'll put in a lot of money and then run half of this institute. So obviously it split all the players, and they gave a lot of money to the players who joined the Live Golf, people like Phil Mickelson. I mean, it's made a fortune. And the PGA first resisted, the people bringing up stuff around 9/11 because the Saudis were sponsoring the tournament. I mean, don't want to get into the politics of it, but at the end of the day, the PGA basically succumbed to live golf and decided to merge, which was sort of like an act of betrayal from some of the golfers. But, back to soccer. Now we've seen this fund take over Newcastle. We're yet to see them flex their muscles in terms of in the transfer market. So far, they've been spending within their means, following fair play rules. But what's happened is over the last sort of like few months, this fund is basically they made a deal. They announced, in fact, a deal that they'll potentially want to bankroll their Saudi sort of like league. And how to do that is just to put it out there in the world. Once they have a strong lead, then they can maybe bid for the World Cup. So let's just take a look at what they did here. So I'll read a report that says Saudi Arabia has announced a groundbreaking transformation of the big four clubs in the Saudi Pro League: Al Hilal, Al Al Hali, Al Nasser, and Al Ittihad. So, under the sports clubs' investment in privatization projects, these clubs will now be owned by the Public Investment Fund and its non-profit foundations. So, essentially, that's what we've seen these four clubs basically making a major assault into European sports, into football. I mean, we've seen astronomical amounts of money being flexed by these clubs. Like in terms of the salaries, the salary of Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, Karim Benzema is on about 200 million a year, and N'Golo Kante has just signed another contract with one of the clubs. So they've actually lined up a few players in the league, in the European major leagues. Yeah, you're looking at most of the free sort of like free agents like um, Bobby Firmino, Luka Modric, and they've even made a bid. I think their bid was accepted for Navas from Wolves for 50 million. This guy's got about 12 months left in his contract. I mean, 50 million pounds. I mean, he's good, but he's not 1 year, 50 million pound type of player. But like I said, each to their own. And what all these rumors every day about them signing different types of players. We've got Chelsea's players, such as Aubameyang, goalkeeper Mendy. So no one knows where this is going to end, what it means to the football world. I know a few players have resisted joining the league, like Messi and Busquets, who's gone to Inter Milan. I mean, who can blame some of the players? I mean, the monies that we're talking about, they are game changers for one's life. I mean, if I was a football player and offered such amounts of money, basically that would feed my family and their families for the rest of their lives. We're talking about generational wealth here. So it is just sort of like interesting where the world, in terms of the world of football, its direction, where it's going with all this investment from the Saudis in terms of what it means. So it'd be interesting to get your guys' thoughts. Leave your comments below and your thoughts, and we'll see you on another show. Cheers. Bye.